Big g'day and welcome to another cracking edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show. Thanks to Bendigo Bank. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by the great man, Mitch, attending the operations manager of the competition, mate. Fresh off a great weekend down at Garfield. How did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, look, it was a good build-up and it was a good trip over there. The day all went pretty well, results aside. Everything ran pretty smoothly and yeah, we're pretty happy with that side of things. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any results on the day, but look, there's always next year.
Yeah, exactly. There's enough talent in that lineup. What sort of where were sort of some of the disadvantages that we sort of had on the day, particularly with the senior guys? How strong were West Gippsland?
Yeah, they were strong, and I saw them last year, as you would know, against Riddle, and I thought they weren't very good on that day, but this year it looked like a completely different side, and they kept our guys very quiet, especially our key players. There were a couple of key players there that didn't maybe go as well as they would have hoped, but credit to West Gippy and the coaching staff over there. They did a really good job and they got the points.
And I guess they're a fine example as well, as we have discussed during the campaign, is that with the AFL review, they were a new competition that come about, and we knew that they were going to probably struggle a little bit in their first year, which was last year against the AFL, and they backed it up with some great brilliance on the weekend. But we did have some young standouts on the day. Angus McKenna was outstanding, and he was in a good situation as well as a player that he could have played in under 18s and in the seniors. He was a wanted man.
Yeah, exactly right. So he's young enough to be playing in the under 18s, and he'll be a handy addition in a couple of weeks when the under 18s have another game. But look, he was close to winning best on ground, I would have thought. He kicked a good goal, a really classy goal, and he was just a really important player for him on the day.
Jay Anderson from Royal Park had a great performance. He did take out the medal for the player of the day. How did you see his performance? I know you didn't get a chance to see much of the game, but how did you think he went?
Yeah, didn't see a lot of the footy, but he was definitely a standout. He was standing tall all day and yeah, did a lot for what Maryborough could do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We did have a few other players that sort of stepped up, but pretty hard on the scoring front. We only sort of kicked 5 goals from 15 scoring shots on the day, whereas they had 29 scoring shots and winning that one by 44 points. But yeah, ultimately we didn't have the opportunities up forward, and the midfield were probably beaten more than what we hoped would have been.
Yeah, I think the game was probably lost in the midfield. You know, the backs tried hard all day, and they were getting pretty heavily put on, and you know the midfield probably needed a bit more defensive pressure, I think, on those guys, and just limited their forward scoring ability a little bit. But that aside, look, they still performed well. They weren't embarrassed, and they should be really proud of their performance.
Exactly, they're up against a team that has improved, and they will look to, like being a new competition, they'll look to go on in leaps and bounds. They do have a lot of talent in that region, down in the Gippsland region. So congratulations to all involved. Unfortunately, we didn't get a win from any of the 4 games on the day across footy and netball, but to be part of it. I know we've got another campaign, as you mentioned. It's only around the corner. I think we've got the under 15s and under 18s that'll be taking the field. I know the preparations are firmly underway to making that kick ahead. It's like we finished one campaign and straight to another.
Yeah, that's right. And it's been very busy, and it's going to stay that way for a little while. But the 15s will get a chance to have their first game, and the under 18s, as you said, will get another go as well in Bendigo in a couple of weeks when they take on a couple of leagues over that way. So it's all going ahead.
Fantastic. We'll be pumping that up over the coming weeks as more details come to hand. As we turn our attention to this weekend's game of action, I think we're up to round 6 now, mate, and we're getting pretty exciting now. We've seen a few really good games on the cards as we talk up Avoca and Campbell's Creek. Both sides sort of down the bottom. The Bulldogs come in this game with a little bit of form, and Campbell's Creek, well, we say week in, week out, it's about just improving in the ways that they can. But this is a danger game for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it is, and look, as you said, Campbell's Creek is struggling again. But if they're going to have a game this year, it might be against Avoca. Look, they're doing okay. They've had 2 wins, and I expect they probably get their 3rd win this week as well. Yeah,
I agree with you on that front, mate. Tough game for the Eagles. They come into this game against the Redbacks, who were stung badly a couple of weeks ago. It does seem like a long while ago now when they did go down to the Swans, but they'll be keen to come back with a lot of venom and trying to hit the scoreboard really hard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Carisbrook had what some would say would be a shock loss. Yeah, as you said, a couple of weeks ago, and I think they'll bounce back pretty strongly. Look, guys on the weekend that I knew there'd be a lot of Carisbrook players in that side on the weekend that played in Interleague, and guys like McKenna, Benari, Patterson, Jacko Bowen, all really impressive in that game. So I expect Carisbrook will bounce back really strongly this week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they kicked a lazy 4 goals 24 in their last hit out as a unit, and they won't want to be repeating that anytime soon. We'll probably see what sort of wet conditions heading into the weekend, but Carisbrook are a very slick side. Lexington Royal Park, the Battle of the Tigers. This is going to be a cracking contest between the two sides. Lexington on the up and Royal Park. They'll be looking to get back to some of that great form from 2017.
Yeah, look, I'll be backing in Lexington, I think, here this week. They're going along okay. They've knocked off Trentham last week, so... and they also
gave them a good belting too, really.
Yeah, and they impressed against Harcourt as well, who were travelling pretty good as well. So, but then, that said, it wouldn't surprise me if Royal Park got up either.
Yeah, I'm going to be the point of difference and jump on the other Tigers bandwagon. They're when they're good, they're very, very good. I know Lexington are hitting a bit of rich-banded form. This is probably the one of a couple of matches around. The last few games are actually quite interesting. We've got Natty and Trentham. Swans are up and about after taking down Carisbrook, and the Saints, well, they were stung in action against Lexington and copped the result that they probably weren't expecting. This is a very important game for Trentham, and one that 12 months ago they did actually win, so it's not beyond them here.
Yeah, Trentham, look, they've been a bit up and down, as you've said. They and Natty will have a lot of confidence going into this game. They're the only team still undefeated, so they should be confident, and I think they'll get the job done here. But that said, Trentham, yeah, as I said, have been up and down. They'll want to be going strongly against the top side here. Yeah,
I'd like to see them put in a good solid effort just to see where they're at, because again, we know the Swannies are well and truly up and about. Navarre looking to try and bounce back into some good form. They're up against a Bombers outfit. This is not going to be clear cut as what some punters would tip, because the Bombers haven't been too bad this year.
No, that's right. They've been okay in a few matches, and Navarre obviously fallen away a long way. But I think Navarre, if they want to be taken seriously, they'll have to take care of Malden pretty comfortably here and really make a stamp on the second half of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll make a bold statement that if they can get a win here, by the time the end of round of 16 rolls around, they could be knocking on the door of the top 4. They could just be building up to something quite good here, which it probably really starts this weekend. We got Newstead and Talbot. This is going to be a belter.
Yeah, Talbot looking strong. Had an enormous win against Denali just a couple of weeks ago. And they've come in close against Natty in round 2, I think was a goal of the difference.
Yep.
And they've also taken care of the Rovers, Royal Park, Navarre, all fairly easily. So they're a very strong outfit, and I think they'll take care of Newstead.
Yeah, they should rock and roll with that one there. And the last game we'll look at, we've got Maryborough Rovers and Harcourt. Very big danger game here for the Rovers. A game they must win against the Lions outfit, who have done reasonably well in season 2018.
Yeah, I think Harcourt. I do rate Harcourt pretty highly. They have lost 2 in a row after winning their first 3, but
yep.
I think they'll bounce back. But yeah, as you said, I think it's going to be a pretty close game.
Yeah, I'm still undecided on the Rovers. They are really up and down like a yo-yo. They're hot one week and they're a little bit cold the next. So I'll bank them in here to get an important win here that sort of pushes them up the ladder and gives them that sort of confidence. They do have a bit of an ageing list, but they've got an ageing list that's filled with experience that can cause a lot of trouble. So I know Nathan Richardson, who crossed from Central a couple of seasons ago, he's firing it through the middle. He's a noted goal kicker, but yeah, I mean, this would be great for Harcourt if they get the job done here, especially on the road.
Certainly a game to watch, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, thanks to our friends at Bendigo Bank, and thanks to yourself, Mitchy. Thanks for joining us this week as we talk up MCDFNL footy, and we look forward to getting into some great action this weekend.
Thanks, Yeendy. Cheers.